I ignored my destiny once. I cannot do that again. Even for you. I'm the only one who knows that. At least I'm the only one with the will to act on it.
The Mad Titan Podcast with your host, Jay Washington.
What's happening, everybody? Happy New Year. It is me, your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington, here with another edition, episode 14 of the Mad Titan Podcast. Thank you all for rocking with me. Hope everybody has enjoyed their holiday season. I know I gave you one right after Christmas. I gave it to you Christmas Eve, matter of fact, and now you're getting my New Year's one. If you follow what I did last year with the trusty sidekick, myself and Bobby, we did best of movies and TV shows, and I figured you might as well do that because really ain't no news to talk about, so might as well give you the best of TV shows and movies. I got a slight bit of news, but we'll cover that later. But I had to bring somebody back, unfortunately. Again, all of my other options ran out. I don't know why I'm doing this. I think he's moving a desk right now, it sounds like. Man, I got BC back with me. I ain't even finna give him no lavish introduction.
Bro, come on. Look, I get it. You don't like your audience. It makes sense. Bring in BC. He sabotages the show. Bada bing, bada boom. That's how we do it.
The reason I actually didn't want to ever bring you back on was after you sent me the link to that video of you and another guy having a match. One of you did Triple H, and then you did the worst Road Dogg impression I've ever seen in my God-given life. Like, I wanted to shoot myself for watching that.
All right, number one, Mike Fox is incredibly talented. He is one of the best workers of Texas indie wrestling that's been around. He's kind of semi-retired. He comes back here and there for a little bit, but he's mostly retired. But he is really freaking talented. Okay. Myself. Shut up, my Road Dogg was dope as hell, and everyone told me that my match was the most fun. So, that's what's up.
You know, I'm just going to have to just...
I was supposed to have a Billy Gunn. It was supposed to be a tag match.
I was going to say, I do not want to see you. I thought you was going to say you was Mr. Ass, and I'm like, I do not want to see that.
No. I was supposed to have a Billy Gunn. There was going to be a tag match, but you know how indie wrestling is. People be canceling and not showing, and things be changing right before you walk through the the curtain.
Through the court? Did you have a lot of legal issues? You have a lot of legal issues in 2018. Before we get into everything, man, how would you say overall your 2018 has been, and what do you expect to do going into 20? Well, we'll talk about what you expect to do in 2019 towards the end, but how's your 2018 been?
Man, I think it was a pretty good year, man. I think I really branched out. I think there was a lot of great comic book TV shows. I enjoyed a lot of the stuff that was put out in the movies and cinema and all that this year. And my wrestling, I think, has gotten a lot better. And it took all freaking year, Jay. It took all year long, but I got 100 subscribers on YouTube, and I could name my channel finally.
You know what? I would talk shit, but congratulations on that, seriously. Because as somebody who's just recently started trying to develop his YouTube channel, I can understand how difficult that shit can be. So getting subscribers it seems like it'll be easy, but it's not always easy. So, you know. My
Instagram and Twitter shot up like crazy all year long.
Well, you can thank me for having you on here and allowing you to be a part of the greatness that is the Mad Titan Podcast. And all the fans who shout out to all the people who tweet me about this and be like, "Yo, this is their weekly dose of it," and I'm gonna keep giving you this shit. So thank me, you know.
It's all thanks to you. Everything I do is thanks to Jay Washington. I'm gonna be on a San Diego Comic-Con panel thanks to Jay Washington. I don't know if that's true, but I'm shooting for the stars here, Jay. I'm shooting for the stars.
Well, shit, I'm going to write a couple of articles for Centerlinks for the new year, and so when they start submitting shit, just say, hey, we're going to throw Jay.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, for me, 2018, has been a roller coaster. It's been no secret. It's the beginning of the year alone. What started out, it was going to be a pretty decent year. It was going to be pretty much me working, turning into me almost fucking dying. Like, legit. Like, some people like, yo, you didn't almost die. Like, no, had I not been admitted to the hospital the day I was admitted when I had to have my tracheotomy, I'd have died. I'd almost died. I'd have died. I would have died. And I think I put it on social media, like, the shit makes you look at a lot of different things in a whole new perspective, because you never expect for a common cold to almost take your life.
Yeah.
You never expect something like that. From a cold that develops to a sore throat, that develops to an abscess, that ruptures in your throat, and then you almost going septic, things like that. And one of the great things that came out of it was the 125-pound weight loss that I've had throughout the year. And it's been a healthy weight loss, working out more, being more disciplined, more focused. A lot of great opportunities, man, from everybody working alongside with the press and publicity for Black Lightning has been dope. Now I'm connected with all the other CW shows. So being able to do that, it was a moment at LA Comic-Con where it was me, Ryan Sands, Hannibal Taboo, Mark Bernardin, Shag Gaspar, so many dope people, Lamont McGee, so many dope Black men in this sphere, and we were all together just taking one solid Wakanda Forever picture. That was amazing. Doing the Speak for Yourself commercial, the Star Wars joint that just dropped, the Pornhub thing, everything was just been so dope professionally. Personally, I went through a lot of ups and downs. Like I said, almost losing my life. My depression spiraled out of control because of it. But I never gave in fully. I mean, there were times I was ready to throw in the towel and throw myself along with the towel. But none, I'm to put it like this, as I always keep real with y'all. I'm a nigga from the South Side. We fight back a lot, and so I'm here.
Yeah, and you ain't lying. You have fought back this year, man. You have done an incredible job, and I am so honored to be a part of your journey and help you along wherever I can, and have you help me as well. I've been appreciative of your friendship, and I'm so thankful that we have gotten as close as we have, despite the fact that you may hate my taste in movies.
Man, I hate the fuck out your taste in movies. Oh my God. That's why that's why that movie didn't hit on my, I forgot that bullshit came out this year. Let me write that down. You develop friends and all that, but I can get all mushy and shit and had a whole podcast be, what I'm so happy and so positive for, and then y'all gonna be like, man, if you don't shut your bitch ass up. So let's do some quick news I got real quick. In Marvel movie news, they say that the Black Knight may be playing an integral role into the quantum realm going into Avengers Endgame and beyond. Now, for people who don't know, the Black Knight is another character who's gonna live supposedly in this city that we may experience in the quantum realm. Now, whether he will be a major figure throughout Endgame or not, is yet to be seen. Hopefully, we don't see anything of him in any more trailers. But I've said that before. I'm done with the trailers. You gave me the first trailer I needed. You gave me the trailer of all the remaining Avengers being broken. They don't know what to do. Granted, I know people are like, well, we didn't see Banner. Banner's whole issue now is he has to figure out why the Hulk doesn't want to come out. That's his.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't want anything else. I am done. I'm not watching another single thing for Endgame.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it anymore. So they say now, according to MCU Cosmic founder Jeremy Conrad, Marvel Studios is actually thinking about bringing Dane Whitman to the big screen, who is the Black Knight. Now, Conrad even claims that Marvel already knows how to introduce this generally niche superhero, and the key word is the quantum realm. Now, the reason I'm not sure Black Knight will come in, because aren't they the same? Isn't Moon Knight Marvel as well? I'm not a Moon Knight fan, so don't get me wrong. Don't be mad at me, y'all. I'm not. Everybody out here been hollering Moon Knight. I'm not up on it like that. So forgive me, I guess.
Moon Knight is Marvel's
Marvel Knight.
Marvel
Dark.
Like Batman. He's like Batman, but he's more of a side character in Marvel. And whereas Batman always wore black because he didn't want villains to see him coming. Moon Knight wants you to see him coming when he comes to kill you.
Well, also I read like I said, I'm not fully up on it, and I read it. I didn't know what company it was, but I was doing a stand-up show in a comic book shop, and I saw it, and I was like, yo, this is a rated R comic. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was Marvel, and I've been here. There has been rumors of them talking about bringing Moon Knight to the big screen. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna do Black Knight and Moon Knight.
Yeah, that would be. Someone would have to go by a different name. Like how they don't really call Steve Rogers Captain America. They just call him Steve. I assume Black Knight would probably just go by Whitman or whatever his
Dane
name
Whitman,
is.
yeah.
Dane Whitman. See, I had heard the rumors of Moon Knight allegedly going to Netflix, but we know how that's going now.
Well, nonetheless, whether it's a Netflix series or a movie, I mean, I think Marvel is going to test that realm come in 2019, especially when the merger is complete. I think they'll test those waters to see what they can do with it. So, I mean, who's to say what happens?
And as far as the Black Knight's concerned, I want to make sure Martin Lawrence can reprise his role.
Nigga,
as
if
the
you
Black
don't,
Knight.
yes, I called the white dude nigga. I couldn't help it because that is when I first heard the character's name. I was like, is Jamal Skywalker gonna be in?
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's one of my favorite comedy movies of all. I love that movie so much.
It's just so weird. It's so weird.
It's so funny.
It's so weird. Because when these marks start doom 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 doom, hands to the. I'm like, how do they know? How? Somebody explain this. But in more Marvel news, Runaways. Marvel's Runaways has just dropped on December 21st. I talked a little bit about it on last week's episode when I had to do it by my damn self, which sometimes makes me feel like I'm going fucking crazy when I got to make myself laugh. You know,
but I'm not gonna lie to you. I do my podcast. I do a lot of episodes that are just me solo, and sometimes I get to the point I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna talk. I don't know how to talk to myself about whatever it is I have to talk about.
Well, I know how to talk to myself. I just think people be like, yo, Jay really is off his meds. He out here holding full-fledged conversations, like he questioning and answering himself. You know what I'm saying? like Jay, like, so what do you think? You know what I'm saying? So what you thought about this movie? Well, dog, let me tell you what I really thought. Like, yo,
my problem is sometimes I'll talk myself. I'll have an opinion about something, and then I'll talk myself out of that opinion. It's just like on the podcast. I'm like, I didn't know I thought about that.
That is not right. But speaking of Runaways, man, I got a chance to finish season 2, and BC and I, we were talking a little bit about it before I started recording. This season, they are so damn comic book accurate, but amp the stakes even more. For them to be Runaways still in the same city.
Yeah.
You know, it was. I have to give props to my homeboy Ryan Sands, who plays Jeffrey Wilder, Angel Parker, who plays Catherine Wilder. They took the Wilder's gangster to a whole new level.
Bruh, you ain't lying.
Like, we saw that in the first season, you knew they were kind of gangsters. They were a little dirty. You knew that Jeffrey used to be a gangster because of his relationship with Darius, but you didn't know too much what Catherine did. But when you see how Catherine just has that don't give a fuck attitude, you're like, yo.
Yeah, I don't like there were certain aspects of the season that I don't know if I'm on board with completely yet. Like, and again, I didn't read the comics, so and you're telling me this is very comic accurate. Some of the Yavin character that came in toward the end, and how now the aliens have now taken over Tina, Victor, and Stacy.
Right. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you ain't watched it yet.
So. Oh yeah, my bad. My issue is as the show goes on, I don't want to lose those characters.
Yeah, I don't want to lose I think that's the biggest issue too. That's my concern. It's not more so a problem for me. It's a concern because the whole plot, the majority of the plot of Runaways is the kids trying to defeat their supervillain parents. Now, granted, this ups the level of supervillainry, but what happens when the bodies can't hold the aliens anymore? Like you said, you don't want to get rid of these characters. And I never thought, I'll be honest, I never thought when you found out they were the aliens, that was what was wrong with them. When I saw Tina Minoru eating that cake like crazy, and then all of a sudden trying to get horny on Robert, I was like, yo, who drugged her? Like,
that's what I thought too.
I was like, who drugged? And then Stacy all of a sudden became a thug and took off her glasses.
Yeah.
But you know what? I get what they're doing. It's a scary road that they're going to go down for season 3. Hopefully they will be renewed. There has not been an official announcement yet, but it left the door open, and left it open well. It didn't completely leave it open ended. It almost solved some things, and then it did split the team up per se.
Yeah. And then they never touched on it. There's those eyes that someone's watching from behind, right?
Oh no, they already did that. That's Zavin.
That was Zavin? I thought it was still another character they hadn't gone to.
No, that was Zavin.
Okay, because I figured Topher, the dude from earlier. I thought he was maybe coming back.
No, Topher hella in the hospital, if not dead.
Yeah. See, because like I remember the panel at New York Comic Con, and they made a big deal about Topher, and so I figured he was going to be a returning character. I figured we were going to see him again more.
Well, we probably will in season 3.
I didn't realize that it pointed out that Yavin were those eyes.
Yeah, but it probably is in season. He'll probably return to season 3 by the time everything goes on. But we opened up a lot more. Like I said, we got into the fact that Nico is a witch. Mm-hmm. Granted, the staff plays a part into it, but she's learning more about her being, she knows how it can control her, and her having her own abilities and not really just needing the staff always. Like the staff can amplify what she can do. Yeah.
Very true. Yeah. And I'm loving Nico. I'm loving all the character aspects of them. Like they mesh so well together. And not only that, but did you hear the Wakanda drop?
Yes, indeed. I will send you all the way to Wakanda. I was like, whoa. So again, this is connected to the universe. So
somewhere in there, there's some and maybe that's just a hat tip to everybody, but it's like. Because Wakanda is one of the few places in the Marvel universe that is it's not an actual place. So the fact that they legitimately went and name dropped Wakanda it really does add to that theory that this is all really connected.
Well, and also one of the biggest things that we always keep overlooking is Roxxon. Mm-hmm. Roxxon is featured heavily this season. In Runaways, and they are working on. So we are getting the crossover, just in case. I think now the crossover, because we've seen this entire season, the crossover is going to come somehow in Cloak and Dagger, but I don't think it's going to be a full Runaways team crossover.
Yeah, I still haven't heard, when is Cloak and Dagger returning? Do you know?
I have not got any news about that, any information yet. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when I get this shit, y'all will get this shit.
Because I loved Cloak and Dagger.
It was a Cloak and Dagger, and that'll go on, saying my top, when we talk about TV shows and films of this year, we'll talk about that, because it was surprising. But we'll get into that. But before we go, that's our Marvel news. Because like I said, there really isn't any major Marvel news this week. Any major news because of the holidays. A lot of concept art has been dropping. Go ahead.
I'm surprised you're not going to bring up the little one-liner about Kevin Feige being prepared for the
Kevin
Fox
Feige,
properties in the next 6 months.
You know what? I forgot about that because I should have made a bigger deal about it, but I didn't, and that's on me. Feige is ready to start integrating these characters as of immediately. The moment the merger happens, he's ready to go to the point where we may have an X-Men property in production by 2020.
And it's official tomorrow, or I don't know when it airs.
Yeah, it goes.
Right?
This comes out. I'm putting this out on New Year's Eve for everybody. So once we're done recording, I'm gonna do the production, editing, and everything, and you guys will have it out New Year's Eve. So New Year's Day is the official day in which the X-Men are officially a part of Marvel.
Yeah, so I'm excited at the fact that within 6 months we're already going to have some kind of plan, which leads me to immediately think that
Endgame will have a post-credit scene.
Yeah, something. So whether it's going to be mutants or something's going to happen with the Fantastic Four up in space.
Yeah, something's going to happen. We're going to get one of the two of them guaranteed at the end of Endgame, because people were like, "Oh, well, the movie's done." True, but it takes. I've said it before, and I will say it 1,000,000 times over. It takes nothing to film a post-credit scene.
Exactly.
Never forget, the original Avengers post-credit scene was filmed after the premiere.
That's like 2 days before it went out, when it was released.
Right, but 2 days before it was released to the public, they hurried up and shot the end credit scene and put it in there. Like, as soon as the premiere was over, they were going back to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's a dope thing to have happen. Only news I got in DC really is Aquaman that's been blowing up the box office, and this is mainly in part to its international release, which came about 2 weeks earlier than the domestic release here in the United States. As of now, as of this recording, Aquaman has grossed about $750 million globally.
God, that's good. I enjoyed Aquaman. I definitely don't think it is as good as they want it to be, but I did have fun in the movie. I thought it's entertaining.
Well, like I said, I did my review of it, and I had my issues. I felt like there were a lot of plot holes. I felt
a lot of plot holes.
I felt like Black Manta was wasted. Also, you can check out my review on my YouTube channel. I had to do an audio review. I didn't have camera space to do it, basically, so we just did audio, and I just called it a day, and it still sounds good. I felt Black Manta was a waste, and especially that post-credit scene made it worse, because you don't do... Look, y'all should have seen Aquaman by now. If you haven't, that's on you. You don't have him... This is one of Aquaman's main villains, right? I get you want to do the whole sibling rivalry, the whole battle for Atlantis, but don't bring in Black Manta like he's going to be essential. Take him out, then do a post-credit scene like, oh yeah, in Aquaman 2 is going to be him, because now it's like, this doesn't help.
Yeah. My major issue is I was watching. I have a big thing with continuity. I like things to kind of line up, and I get that we're trying to retcon a few things, but you cannot refer to Justice League and ignore Justice League at the same time.
At the exact same time.
Like, there's literally a scene where they're like, Arthur has never been to Atlantis, and so I'm like, okay, this takes place before Justice League, and then Mara shows up and she's like, you beat Steppenwolf. I'm like, okay, so this takes place after Justice League?
Yeah.
And
I mean, she said it real quick.
Where Arthur goes, I don't even know your name. What do I call you? You had a conversation with her in Justice League.
You don't just randomly go there and just talk to somebody you don't know. Or better yet, now people keep trying to tell me that in Justice League they did not go to Atlantis. The mother box is kept in Atlantis. The mother box is not kept outside of Atlantis. It's kept in Atlantis. So you can't like you just said, you can't retcon then follow along at the exact same time without your plot becoming convoluted. You just can't do it. But it is what it is, which we'll talk about when we get to the movies, which is pretty much now. Let's talk about this. This is what the reason this is all for. I want to talk about some of the best comic book TV shows, comic books, movies, and TV shows. Now, normally, I only cover some of the live action joints. Not some, all of the live action joints. Will I start covering Watchmen next year once it drops on HBO? Possibly. I will.
Is that not live action?
It's live action. It's live action. The reason I say possibly because I already have a litany of shows I have to watch by myself. Yeah. So for me, I didn't put them in these aren't really ordered, but they are ordered. And first of all, my honorable mention for out of all the comic book movies of 2018 goes to The Incredibles 2. Granted, it's not in the same realm of what we talk about, but it gave an ode to it, especially when The Incredibles got moved into the new house, which turns out to be Tony Stark's crib. If you actually read they said that house becomes Tony Stark's house.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it was a great movie. I loved it. Again, having 13, 14 years between sequels. It was crazy watching a bunch of little kids in here in the theaters, and you like, yo, you don't know shit about this, shorty. Like, you wasn't here for this. You wasn't in these streets out here jacking when I was jacking.
Exactly. They don't remember the days of Batman Forever.
Right. You don't remember
Superman 3.
You know what I'm saying? Superman 4, The Quest for Peace with Nuclear Man. You know what I'm saying? You don't remember bat nipples, shawty? You ain't out here in this game when there was bat nipples and bat butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't have to sit through Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to go through the horrible camera shots you saw in that movie and just a horrible movie within itself. You know what I'm saying? Because some people be like, well, what about Ghost Rider? Ghost Rider was pretty damn decent for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
It was. But Spirit of Vengeance was not a movie. Like, it was...
It was
just know what it was.
It was just, we got a budget, we gonna use all this shit. That's literally Spirit of Vengeance was like, nigga, we can get Idris Elba just for the fuck of it. Let's get Idris Elba for the fuck of it. Like, is this a good move? I don't know, but it's Marvel and it's Idris Elba. And then he went to Thor, and then he was like, so this is how y'all gonna keep playing me? Cause like, first you put him in, and I say that because First, before I get to the list, first you put him in shitty Spirit Avengers, right? Then you put him in Thor as Heimdall, who was supposed to be this dope-ass amazing character, but you never really use him. You finally...
What was the movie that finally everyone finally went, oh, Idris Elba's a big deal?
I don't know what movie. I think people started rewatching The Wire again.
Yeah, because I remember seeing Idris Elba on a lot of stuff. One of my all-time favorite Christmas movies is This Christmas with
yes.
Chris Brown and him, and I'm like I always remember Idris Elba being a big deal, but like there was just a time that all of a sudden everyone's like Idris Elba is the best thing ever, and I was like, it's about time y'all saw this. Y'all don't remember the days of him just appearing and stuff.
Again, but then you go to Thor: The Dark World. You like, so y'all just gonna have Idris Elba here to have Idris Elba here? Then you go to Thor: Ragnarok. You like, oh, you finally got him doing something.
And then Infinity War.
And in Infinity War, like, we just gonna murder the fuck out you, fam. like just straight. We're not gonna imply that you died. We're going to show you murdered.
Oh, but it's okay. He's coming back, right? No, that was before Snap. He's probably gone.
People keep like, oh, he come back. No, if you died pre-Snap, you pretty much dead. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into some. So I'm gonna go from my bottom to the top, and I'll just say them, and I don't, we'll talk about them afterwards. Okay. For me, the lowest one this year, of course, was Venom. I don't care if you liked it. I don't give a fuck how you feel. Fuck all your emotions. It was fun. You can suck my it was fun dick. Because it was just stupid. The concept was dumb. I knew it was going to be stupid. And then the post-credit scene with Woody Harrelson with the worst red wig in history.
I can't defend the wig. I cannot defend the wig.
I'll go before that, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, granted, it's not a terrible movie. I know exactly what Ant-Man and the Wasp is. A lot of people tried to complain because it was the film right after Infinity War. You cannot complain about a placeholder movie. It sets up Endgame. That's all Ant-Man's films have been, were to set up the next major storyline. So, what's your thoughts on that real quick?
Yeah, I really enjoyed Ant-Man. Again, what it was, it's a cool down movie. All right, I was just emotionally destroyed in Infinity War. Okay, I need something to build me back up, have a little fun, and take it down a notch. If you are continually save the city, save the state, save the country, save the world, save the universe, save the galaxy, it gets to a point. How much bigger can you get? So when you get really big, you have to bring it back down, and you have to set expectations so we can start to climb again. So you take that, you reset a little bit, have a little fun, and enjoy this. It's kind of a heist movie still. You take it back, make it about the family again, and boom, we're good. Ant-Man was good for what it was.
Absolutely.
It's not a bad movie. It's just a cool down, reset your jets. Let's get ready.
Well, for me, Ant-Man, like you said, it's a reset your jets, and it was to set up this next big phase we're going into, the quantum realm. And also, we needed to introduce Hope Van Dyne as the Wasp officially. So we did that. Now, my next movie behind that we just talked about recently was Aquaman. Aquaman was for what it was worth. It was a beautiful film. It was done well. Granted, it had plot holes. I just like the specter and splendor a little bit more than I did in Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's the only reason. So, I mean, storyline, I'm like, yo, y'all just wanted Jason Momoa with his shirt off because you knew people were going to run to the box office to see it. I can't be mad. I can't be mad because that's what people do with The Rock. If they can have him with his shirt off, they do it. Let's just be honest. And if it sells, it sells. And that's why Jason Momoa was not booked as Aquaman because of his acting abilities. And let's just keep this all the way 100. Think about this. I brought this up to people who did not realize this. Before Aquaman, because most of you all never saw Conan the Barbarian, how many of you all have watched Jason Momoa on screen for longer than 20 minutes at one time? Don't worry, I'll wait. Exactly.
None.
None. So this was your first introduction is to Jason Momoa in long form. And then you're like, oh, this is why you're given short spurts.
Yeah.
But again, I know why. My next movie is Avengers Infinity War. It is not my number one movie of the year. It was an emotionally draining movie. It is so emotionally draining that I still watch it now that it's back on Netflix.
Oh God, I'm watching it constantly. Between that and Black Panther, I watch it over and over and over.
Because it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah. And it flows so well, and it's just one of those movies that you can just turn on and you can just watch it because you get drawn in every single time.
And everything works. Like, you have almost 60 characters in a movie. It's not supposed to work, and they're all not supposed to shine, but guess what? They all do.
Yeah.
Even Benicio del Toro's little bitty part he does when he's with Thanos when they're in nowhere. That little bitty thing. Magnificent!
Yes!
That little bit, you know what I'm saying? That little bit works. And it also made Avengers Infinity War made Star-Lord the most hated person in 2018.
Yep. Good Lord. They got mad at him.
But let's be honest. It is. I understand Doctor Strange saw 14,605 different possibilities of what could happen and outcomes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I remember the number. Movie Trivia Schmodown. But so fucked up. I remember that. But at the end of the day, they would have been able to do something more if they would have. They almost had the damn gauntlet off his hand. Like you know how you hear "we almost got it" in normal movies and you don't see it. In this one, they showed the gauntlet on his fingers.
Yeah.
It was on his fingers. And so, that, but everything else, the ending, when you knew people were dying, but you didn't know who was going to die. Nobody knew. And when you found out what Groot's last word was, you're like, man, fuck. Man. See?
Why you gotta remind me of that? I always...
Yo, like, I'm a thug sometimes, alright? And thugs cried in the theaters. Because, like, it was already sad watching it, but then when James Gunn was like, Groot's last word was dad, I said, oh, Jesus, hold me, Jesus.
So
I think and I ain't gonna lie, so now with that knowledge, whenever I rewatch Infinity War and knowing he's saying dad and hearing Rocket's, oh no, Groot, it's like my son. And it's just like, oh, my heartstrings. So here's where I have two more films, and here's where it's going to get a little bit confusing for people, because you're automatically expecting one to be my number one, but it's not. Black Panther is my second favorite movie of 2018.
Okay.
Because
I don't hate it because I know where you're going.
Okay.
So I don't hate it, and I can't argue it because I almost have the exact same order here.
Okay. And Black Panther, because first of all, for me being a kid who grew up on the Black Panther comic, who has watched all these other heroes get integrated into television and big screen films, and to not know if that one hero you identified with the most because that hero looked like you. That hero made you believe that there is a country and a land where you're told you're from that has riches, still as a king, and it says, fuck the world, basically. And to watch it be brought to life, to the splendor and the majesty, and to watch what Ryan Coogler put a vision together with that, along with Chadwick Boseman, along with Angela Bassett, Letitia Wright, Michael B. Jordan, Denai Guerrero, Lupita Nyong'o, Martin Freeman, Andy Serkis, Winston Duke. I keep going down a net list of names to bring that to life. Was surreal. I say I cry a lot at certain films because they'll touch you. I remember being in tears throughout this movie because I couldn't believe I was watching it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is happening. And the first time you ever see them fly into Wakanda.
I love that. That music, I actually created that, like, from that song, I created an entrance music that I almost used for one company with that Welcome to Wakanda or whatever the name of that song was. Oh my God, that such a beautiful score, and going into that and just hearing him say, "I never get tired of this."
Man,
oh,
I was so dumb. My prince, Sister Nakia, my prince, we are home. Mm-hmm. Like, it just touched me. It just touched me in so many ways. And again, I know what the third act was with the final fight, how the CGI looked. I get that, but the symbolism of that fight meant so much more to me than anything else. And for a lot of people,
arguably the best line in any MCU or any superhero film.
Bury me at sea like my ancestors, because they knew what it was like better to die than be stuck in bondage. No other movie will have a line that deep. No other movie. Yeah, man. I already know, man.
I was like, yo, Michael B. Jordan, yo, fuck, dog. Like, I hate that we're not going to get Killmonger again. I hate that.
That's not true. I have to keep
at the same time, like the way they ended that, I'm like, that's so perfect.
But actually, I keep telling people that's not true. You can get Killmonger back in the next Black Panther film. Yeah. Because he was a Black Panther. He now exists in the ancestral plane.
True.
So, and I get we don't get but also, it is, he said he wanted to die. True?
Yeah.
We don't know for a fact if he died. Because Michael B. Jordan's character, Eric Killmonger, as what they were told in the movie Black Panther, is royalty. Yeah. He would have had regardless of what happened, the king forgave him. He would have had a royal funeral. Right or wrong?
That's true. I mean,
it can be applied to so many different things.
It's not to say he didn't have it, they just didn't show it to us, but.
I mean, it's true, but at the same time, so much shit could have happened. But
of course, start messing with time, so who
knows? And then that brings me to my number one movie of the year, and it's not a live action movie, so you automatically know what I'm going with. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This movie was perfect on so many levels. I can't praise this movie enough. I can't praise the fact that you took a young, half black, half Puerto Rican kid, and you made him show Peter Parker what it's like to be a black kid in America. When he was like, I have this sense that keeps tingling. And then Peter was like, why don't you just turn it off? He's like, oh, it'll always tingle. And Peter was like, why don't you just turn it off? And Miles just looked at him like, do you see my face? That moment struck me hard. I was like, yo, we going there?
It's so, like, it's so smart. The whole movie is just an intelligent movie that hits on so many different levels. Like, you don't even have to understand, like, that depth of it. Kids are going to understand it. Grown folks are going to understand it. Everybody's going to get in there and get so much out of it. And it was such an entertaining romp, man. I loved that so damn much. Growing up a Spider-Man fan and being that kind of, like, outsider who felt like I could do more, but I can't because, I can't be,
Yeah.
But that's why I've always connected to Spider-Man, and seeing it brought to life this way, and so many routes that you could take after this, and you can continue to grow this. And the fact that this one was Sony, way to go. Y'all did it.
Well, it's Sony Animation is a whole different division, and so I will always big up Sony Animation for what they did. To watch the story of Miles and his father, the conversation through the wall is one of the most heart-wrenching scenes ever. To try to tell him your uncle died, even though Miles knows. Miles was there. And it's just so heartwarming, and it was a beautiful movie. It was done. There were no plot holes. And also the best part for this film, it's self-contained.
Yeah.
I get every DC movie we watch now, every MCU movie we watch, all connect to another movie or a bigger universe somehow, some way. This movie didn't have to connect to anything.
And it was perfect just as is.
As is. It was its own story. It was its own entity, and I loved it, and that's what made it my favorite movie. And I know, like I said, it's not live action, but I'd be a fool not to make this one of my best comic book movies of the year. So,
I gotta completely agree with you. I think, it's pretty much spot on with how I would have put the list. You didn't really put in Deadpool.
Oh shit, I forgot. Deadpool 2 did come out. Deadpool 2 for me, I'm sorry, y'all. I knew it was the movie I forgot this year we got a lot of movies. It's next year we got a lot of movies. Deadpool 2 falls right before Aquaman, right after Infinity War.
Okay. See, I would have put I didn't even think to rank Incredibles. I enjoyed Incredibles, but not as much as I wanted to. I think I got a victim of overhype and my expectations for Incredibles.
Yeah.
And I think that hurt me, so that's why I didn't enjoy Incredibles. And I didn't really enjoy Deadpool 2 all that much. I thought it was funny. I thought the jokes hit better, but on a whole, I think it was a step down from the first one. But other than that, I'd probably much keep my list with you, except I'd move Venom up. And my top three are Avengers, Spidey, and Black Panther. And depending on what day you ask me, they might change on which one's my favorite, because
this is true.
I can't.
Black Panther and Spidey may change for me. The biggest thing I like about Deadpool 2, I knew it was going to be fourth wall breaking. I knew it was going to be basically, for lack of better words, more dick jokes. I just wanted to see how would Josh Brolin pull off Cable after pulling off Thanos.
Yeah.
And he did it perfectly, because he gave a completely different performance.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My major issue with it was more of Josh Brolin looked incredible as Cable. Like, absolutely incredible. And then Juggernaut, who's one of my all-time favorite villains ever created, looked like a cartoon character. And
but Juggernaut had to be so CGI'd. He was more CGI'd than freaking Colossus.
Yeah, but the Hulk doesn't look like a cartoon character in Avengers.
Two different companies.
Again, he's a monster, and trained to the eye, it looks a lot different. But I don't think we needed
you're still, it's two different companies. Fox handled Juggernaut, Marvel and Disney handles the Hulk. Two different companies.
But, like, I don't think we needed the X-Force storyline. Like, it was a funny gag, but it was a lot of storyline for a gag. And if you would have, instead of casting all that extra stuff, kept Domino, just put her in there, and
built off of it going later,
money into the Juggernaut, maybe that would have been a little better for me. That was my only major issue.
Well, when the Juggernaut told Colossus, "I'm gonna melt you down and use you as a cock ring," I fucking lost it. Lost it.
Funnier, I think all these jokes hit a lot harder than the jokes in the first film. But I think overall the first film was a better movie than this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A better overall arc. I didn't care for Fire Fist. I didn't care for the little fat kid. I just didn't. I didn't care. Like I said, it's for me the story of what you were trying to show, because Deadpool has a heart. And granted, the first one was all the love story. And now, like he said, this one's about family. This is about making X-Force his family. Granted, X-Force dies quickly and in a hurry, and they pumped up Shatterstar like he was going to be somebody, and that motherfucker died.
Yeah. And it was funny, but it was pointless. Overall, pointless.
Yeah. So here's what I'm looking forward to in 2019. This is the order in which I'm looking forward to them, and I'm going to go backwards to top. Just let me run through my list. The bottom of my list, no matter what, is Dark Phoenix. If there's anything else, you fucking wrong. After that, Shazam. After that, Wonder Woman 1984. Then Captain Marvel. Then Spider-Man Far From Home. And at the top, Avengers Endgame. Now, I'll tell you why I said that. Spider-Man Far From Home, I think I have the best theory on what this is. This is not a movie post Avengers Endgame. This is a movie after Homecoming. Mm-hmm. This is a movie pre-Infinity War. His trips, he's going to travel the country with his class. The last thing we're going to see Peter do is get on the school bus that takes him to where we meet him in Infinity War. I want to see Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I'm very excited to see that. They're possibly trying to build this. They are building this Sinister Six for Spider-Man, and I'm liking the way they're doing it. It's a slow build. It's not a forcible build. Endgame is, I want to see not even the conclusion. I need to see the next movie, because Avengers Infinity War was a complete movie. The bad guy won. Plain and simple. People keep trying to say, no, it's a 2-part movie. No, it's a movie. It's done. Yeah. Thanos won. It's done. Like, the good guys don't always win. The bad guy, when Thanos smiled, that lets you know he won. He won. And then, so Captain Marvel, I just want to see the 90s references. I'm not going to lie to you. I am not that stoked about Brie Larson playing Captain Marvel.
Really?
I'm just not. I'm not that big a Brie Larson fan. I like the look. I like the look of the suits. I'm just not I'm not a Brie Larson stan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I said it. I'm not a Brie Larson stan. You know what I'm saying? Y'all Brie Larson stans.
I love what y'all said. I love that you went with the stan. I am looking really forward to Brie Larson there, because I always go back to her small role in 21 Jump Street. And I just love the sarcasm that she can bring. And I think she's just really fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. But I think my list would be exactly on par with yours, like just about the same thing. You've said everything that I'd just be repeating you. The only thing I would do is I would probably switch Shazam and Dark Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah, because, I mean, I think Shazam looks okay. It looks fun. But every time I see him, I see Buzz Lightyear. Like, I see a tiny head in a suit, and I can't get over that. And if The Rock was in it, if we were doing Black Adam, I'd be like, all right, I'm in. But I just can't. And with Dark Phoenix, I know this is probably not going to be a good movie. But I am such an X-Men mark that I just want to see what they do, because I know this is it. This is the end.
Well, I just don't want to see X-Men 3: The Last Stand all over again.
I know, and it sounds like that's literally all they freaking did.
And I don't care if you say, oh, well, we just added a few other things. Yeah, you just took a movie and just added some more stuff to it. It's the same fucking movie. Wonder Woman 84, the reason I'm not so excited about it is because I've seen the first Wonder Woman and it was a spectacle. It was a beautiful film. And I don't think you can recreate that anymore. I can't get that same feeling I got out of the first Wonder Woman with 1984. Now we're just in a Wonder Woman story. So the hype for me is not there as much, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Man, you gave me such a good ending to Steve Trevor, and I don't see how you're going to bring him back that I'm not going to go. He's
alive. This isn't no flashbacks or no hallucinations. This is him. He's in the 80s.
No. I don't see how you're going to, unless you find a way to make it not gimmicky, which I find it really hard that they will be able to do.
Did you just go outside?
No, you could. I'm right by an airport though, so you can hear planes.
Oh, okay.
As they land.
Okay, I was like, this motherfucker just go? So petty. All right, but here's my honorable mention film for 2019. Do you know what it is?
No, I thought you mentioned them all. Wait,
Glass.
never mind. Yeah, I was about to go. Wait, no,
Glass.
Glass.
Glass is not Marvel nor DC, but it is a live action superhero film.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm more excited about Glass is I keep telling everybody James McAvoy was cast as the wrong X-Men.
Who do you think should be?
Beast, clearly.
Okay. I love his Professor X. I love him as Professor X.
I mean, I'm not mad at his Professor X, but I'm just saying after seeing him as the Beast, I'm like, yeah, I could see this.
Yeah.
The movements and everything. So let's go on to my best TV shows of 2018. There were so many shows. Some shows ended and came back within this same year. So I take all of that into consideration. Here's my bottom to the top, and this was hard for me to do. I didn't name every single show because I just didn't want to.
Okay.
Titans.
That's the bottom?
Yes. The Flash, because of season 4 from what we saw at the beginning of the year.
Oh, I get you. I put Flash toward the bottom too, but I'm in shock right now. I can't.
Arrow, because I'm an Arrow fan.
Yeah.
No matter what. The Gifted. Legends of Tomorrow. They stepped up so much these past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Cloak and Dagger.
Oh,
Black Lightning.
I'm trying to put mine together. I'm like, shit, I forgot that one.
So here's why Titans fell on this list for me. It took a while for it to get going.
Okay.
We built this show, which is predicated off of characters we know, and it took about episode 3 or 4 after the Doom Patrol comes in, we really rolling. The Doom Patrol saved this show. I mean, they were only in 1 episode. Beast Boy only could turn into one beast, and that's a tiger. I get that's his favorite animal, but while we're learning and training control powers and everything and work as a team, hey, guard, you wonder if you could turn into anything else? We never touched on that. Hawk and Dove were great additions. Hawk was just so you can keep the rated R going. That is the only reason you
Bro, you wrong for that.
Am I fucking lying?
Not at all.
Alan Ritchson's character was just to keep it R-rated and grimy. That was it. The season finale that wasn't a season finale. It was a lead into a season finale.
Yeah.
So there are so many different elements. We do the whole thing is about Rachel and her father. So now we have to have another season, that starts out with how Rachel gets the jewel in her head to transition into the Judas contract element. So go ahead.
The bottom. Because that's my number one. Titans is my number one.
See, this is why I don't want to bring you back on this show no more.
Because I enjoyed this so much, and going into it, I didn't think I was. I was like, this is going to be garbage. And I loved every single minute of it. No, there was one episode, the second Hawk and Dove episode, that I was like, all right, that was whack.
To sit there and show how they came to be who they are?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm like, this is unnecessary.
I was like, you don't need a filler episode in a 10-episode season. And that's what that was. That was a filler episode. Yeah, we didn't need it at all. We did not need it at all. And so you had that. Black Lightning became a family drama with superpowers. That was it, and it was so dope the way it was done. The writers have always worked hard and have bust their ass on it. Cloak and Dagger, like I spoke about earlier, Cloak and Dagger surprised the shit out of me. Yeah. From the first time I saw it, when I heard Cloak and Dagger was coming to Freeform, I said, oh my God, I don't need this. I was so nervous. Yeah. I was like, I don't need this, and I don't want this in my life. You know what I'm saying? You hear Cloak and Dagger on Freeform, you're like, okay, we're just reaching now. I get Disney owns everything, but we're reaching at this point. And then the first episode dropped, and I said, holy shit, this feels like a Netflix show. Mm-hmm. It's dark, it's gritty. Okay, that might just be the pilot. The second episode kept up. The third, the fourth, all of them kept in order of being grimy, gritty, and just dark, but at the same time grounded. And then we got the connection to Luke Cage, and I lost my mind. And yes, if you noticed, none of the Netflix shows are on my list. I just started thinking, I was like, man, I didn't even think about Netflix. Damn it. The Netflix show, because I will give honorable mentions to these. The Elseworlds crossover, Luke Cage, and Daredevil Season 3. Okay. And I have to say, Luke Cage, I loved the villain this season. Bushmaster took a villain who you wouldn't really rock with and gave him way more life and depth. You're not supposed to sympathize with villains, but you do. Just like even with Kingpin. Yeah. You're not supposed to sympathize with him, but you do. Absolutely. You know, people forget. You actually be like, damn, man, people been fucking over Wilson Fisk left and right. He just want his woman. Exactly. Just let him alone. Let him have his girl. Let him have his girl. But then it don't turn out that way. And so it's just differences. Again, all the shows I named, again, Black Lightning, Cloak and Dagger, The Gifted, Arrow, Flash, Titans, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist,
freaking Supergirl. I've watched all of these shows this year. Wasn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this year as well?
That's what I was about to say. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. also. I've watched all of these television shows for all of you listeners this year.
Yeah, again, when I look at this list, of shows of superheroes, I listed every single one of them right now, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I watched this many shows this year.
And again, like I said, I tell people I do this because not only do I love the products, you know what I'm saying, I love what they put out, and sometimes I have issues where I hate them. But I also love y'all, the listeners that rock with me, that want my advice and my opinion and my thoughts on things. You know what I'm saying? I'm an average black dude that does dope shit, but I get a chance to rock with people and talk about them. And so a lot of those have been shows where I know some people are like, yo, I'm done. I can't do it. The Flash season 5 has really tested my limits of being one of those shows. Supergirl has already broke me. I cannot do it. I can't.
Yeah. I enjoyed Supergirl this season. I thought this was a very good season. I didn't completely like the pounding of metaphors over the head. It was a little tough.
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. was trash this season. I hated S.H.I.E.L.D.
The whole thing to finally kill off Coulson is like, I don't get it.
I've been defending S.H.I.E.L.D. since it started, but I could not. This was trash. Absolute trash.
I couldn't, and I just didn't get what you were trying to do. And oh my God, was that this year or last year?
That was this year.
No, I'm thinking about Inhumans. That was last year, right?
Yeah, that was last year. I didn't watch that.
I mean, I did not regret it every moment of it.
I went to see the IMAX thing where they showed the first 2 episodes,
and that was it. Yep.
And I was like, well, you've taken my money. You can go to hell. I'm done.
Now, looking forward to a lot of these shows that I mentioned will be returning in 2019. Titans, I'm not sure of. I think they'll be off to like maybe the end of 2019, if not 2020. But I'm looking forward to the return of Black Lightning and finishing out this season, the return of Legion. Legion will drop, and the premiere of Doom Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
After what I saw in Titans episode 4, I am excited to see where they go, because now we got the official promo pic where we got our first looks at Crazy Jane and Cyborg. And I will admit, shouts out to Javon Wade for playing the Teen Titans Cyborg.
Yeah. And
it makes sense, and it adds up as to why they didn't get Ray Fisher to do it. No diss to Ray. Ray a good dude. But Ray's Cyborg was more serious and gritty and dramatic.
Yeah.
This one, this Cyborg is fun love. He's the Teen Titans Cyborg.
I do look forward to Doom Patrol. I think that's going to be a great addition to all the millions of things I have to watch. I'm also honestly looking forward to the finish of Gotham.
Oh, you know what? I can't. I don't know if I am, because of Shane West's Bane and the reason how he is Bane. The story behind it is so fucking awful.
Yeah, I cannot really defend Gotham to anybody. I can't do it because I have a love-hate relationship. Like, I will hate it and be decided that that's it. This episode I'm about to watch is the last episode I'm ever watching.
And then I watch the next. Then you watch the next episode.
Well, see, but then I watched that episode and I'm like, that was genius. That was so good. All right, I'm back on board, because they're so hot and cold. They have moments of genius and just an incredible show, and then it's just we got drunk and wrote some stuff.
You know, I've always believed this from jump, because Gotham was always meant to be the show. I've preached this numerous times, and I will say it over and over again. Gotham was never meant to be about Batman. Never.
No, I didn't want Batman.
Right. Gotham was always meant to be the show about Jim Gordon and life before Batman.
Law and Order in Gotham.
Law and Order in Gotham, literally. The problem became when nobody gave a fuck about Ben McKenzie as Jim Gordon. People can say all they want. Oh, I do care about Ben McKenzie, because if that was the case, if there was an overwhelming majority of people that cared about Ben McKenzie as Jim Gordon, we would have not quickly transitioned into Bruce starting to trying to figure out who murdered his parents. quickly.
I love him and Bullock together. Those are some of my. When I say there's genius in the show, some of the things I'm talking about are him and Bullock, them together.
Oh yeah, Donald Logue is amazing.
Yeah, and then I can't remember the girl's name, but the young girl that plays Selena Kyle.
Carmen by Condova.
Yes, she is a superstar in the making.
You know, and I think this role will help her. I just hope it allows her to do something way more outside of what we just see her as.
I think she prefers more of being a dancer actually than she does acting, I believe, because I follow her on Instagram and every single post is she is a talented hip hop dancer. Like she's talented.
Of course she is. Of course you follow her, just like you follow China Anne McClain.
I do love China Anne McClain. But China Anne McClain is of age, I believe.
Yo, the thoughts and opinions of one BC Jersey Jackass do not reflect those of Jay Washington nor the Mad Titan podcast. And so send all your hate mail towards him. But with that, it's so many shows that are coming back for 2019. Of course, Legends is on its mid-season break. Will return in April. It's so much to ingest and imbibe. Again, if you're a comic book fan, this is a great time to be alive. If you're loving the properties, we got Watchmen coming out on HBO, about to drop next year. We've got all of the shows, the aforementioned shows I've named. I think there's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 6 is coming. What else is coming out? I'm trying to remember what else is coming out. But we got so much, and to cover it is to be able to cover it as a fan has been so amazing. As a professional, it has allowed me to see so much more. As an actor, has allowed me to be like, yo, how do I put my bid in? Mm-hmm. You know, it's just so much. I think I'm looking forward to a lot of what's, you know, there's going to be films we all love and there's going to be films we all hate. It's just the way it is. Nothing is perfect to anyone. This past couple years, we've gone into this big argument of, oh, it's a sucky movie. Or if you say it's a movie that sucks, you aren't a good person. You ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. Yo, people are entitled to hate something. But if you're going to hate something, have a valid reason why you hate it. And I bring that up because, especially with Black Panther, there were so many people who were like, oh, it's such a trashy movie. It's so overrated. Why? Why is it overrated and overhyped? Well, cause, yeah, I know why you say that, because it's literally, and I hate to say this, it's literally that one group of people, that certain group, who said that, and it's like, why is it overrated and why is it overhyped? Oh, cause there wouldn't be a country in Africa like that. Okay, so I get it. So you can't have a black superhero that's the lead in a black superhero film with a predominantly black cast. And then someone will say the dumbass statement of, well, what if there was a white movie like that? It's called every other fucking movie.
Exactly.
It's called every other movie.
I've never, I really hate the people that are like, yo, why is there not a White Panther? I'm like, just shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
Yo, that's the dumbest fucking statement. If there was a White Panther, you do realize the actual animal is a Black Panther, right? You do realize that's where the character was involved, the thought process. And then that's another thing that we've dealt with this year that I also want to talk about. The level of racism that has come out in these fandoms, racism and sexism, has been through the roof. And you get a lot of, myself and many others have experienced it, and when we bring it up, you get people who say, oh, well, just ignore them. That is not as easy as you think it is. It is not as easy as you think it is. And it has come up a lot this year with fandoms, and I'm tired of hearing, like you just said, why is there not a White Panther? Why is there not a white movie like this? There are. It's every fucking other character, every other TV show. People pitch the bitch. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's not even just this year. It started all the way, even back as far as The Force Awakens, where the lead was Finn.
And I was just about to bring up
Daisy Ridley. And
I was just about to bring it up.
Hate because why is there a female lead in Star Wars? Why is there a black guy? He must be related to Samuel L. Jackson. Shut the fuck up, people.
Also,
damn it.
here's also, besides just shutting the fuck up, here's the one thing nobody seems to realize. It is all make believe.
Thank you.
It is make-believe. I remember when the argument came up that potentially, Warner Brothers might be thinking about casting Michael B. Jordan as Superman. People lost their fuck. How Superman can't be a black guy? Why not? Because he's always been white. Here's the problem with that statement. Superman has only been white because that's all. When he was drawn, that was the predominant color of every character. Number one. Number two.
He's a fucking alien. Who cares?
He's
what he
a
looks like?
fucking alien. He is a fucking alien. Krypton has literally just shown you. That is another show I forgot to put on the list. God damn it. The Return of Krypton.
Yeah.
Krypton has shown you that there are black Kryptonians.
Yep.
And if you follow the show, Superman can be black and have black relatives. Just if you pay the fuck attention.
Yep. And
so, go ahead, bro.
It doesn't matter. Like, I get, you can't take T'Challa and make him of Asian descent. Makes no sense to the character. You can't do that. You can take Kingpin and let Michael Clark Duncan play him because it doesn't fucking matter.
And I think people forget that there are the people will say because of the characteristics. Characteristics are one thing, but what the character itself are, the characteristics as far as physical attributes, but what the character is predicated on is an entirely different thing. You have Amadeus Cho, the totally awesome Hulk. He is predicated on being a Korean Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
You have America Chavez, a Latinx superhero. There are certain ones that are predicated on being that. Warner Brothers is potentially developing the Blue Beetle movie with the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle.
Yes.
It is predicated because it is a Latin boy who has to deal with that and deals with his father, his relationship with his father, while trying to deal with his relationship with the Scarab. These are certain things that they're predicated on.
Fantastic Four. Johnny, you want to turn Johnny Storm black? Perfect. Why the was Sue Storm not black?
That was the one thing that made no sense.
That made me so effing mad. I'm like, there are plenty of African American actresses.
You could have just made Sue Storm.
One.
Yeah, you could have just made Sue Storm black if you were just going. Because with Reggie Cathy, God rest his soul, being the father, I was like, so.
She adopted. That was dumb.
We just gonna throw
brother and sister.
So they're brother and like we're not just gonna throw the adopted thing out just because we're lazy and don't want to write shit in the script.
Yeah, that's
because that's what that was. But again, and I bring all that up to say, I hated what fandoms have become.
Yeah,
it's some fans I don't even want to interact with because of what fandoms have become, and the biggest fans, quote unquote fans, who talk the most shit, have no idea where the creators of some of their favorite comics come from.
Exactly.
In their mental state. If you are a quote-unquote Marvel fan and you spew hate because and sexist and racist remarks, please know you are not a fan because Stan Lee was never about that. And prime example, if nobody understands, is the fucking X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
The X-Men were based off of the minorities in America who were looked down upon because of how they looked.
I remember Marvel wanted Stan Lee to change Black Panther's name because they announced he brought out Black Panther, and then it was like 6 months later the Black Panther movement came up.
Right.
And Stan Lee was like, you're out of your mind. I'm not changing it. It's staying.
I'm not changing it. I'm not changing this. And so people want to get upset about this stuff. You can't be mad over stuff that isn't real. Or if the character is not predicated on these things. And again, with Marvel primarily, these characters were based because of what people were going through in the real world. So I bring all this up to say with the projects that are coming forth in 2019, with the fandoms that are going to be able to experience all this in 2019, with the fandoms who are going to want to interact with people like myself, BC, and many others that I work with and I am contemporaries with, no one wants to deal with that. No one. I have the pleasure of weekly, when it's on air, doing Black Lightning reviews with Ashley Victoria Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley
I love
is
Ashley.
Ashley is a white woman. And I have to say, in case you don't know, but guess what? Ashley and her husband, Jason Inman, who are two of the greatest people I know and I love with all my heart, are the most open-minded, open-hearted people ever. They want to understand things they don't, and they don't try to play for it. They like what things are. They try to understand the messages. If they don't understand the messages, they'll ask people. And people have sometimes tried to hate on Ashley. Oh, she's a woman. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Oh, the white girl just trying to be, woke and this, that, and the third. No. That is not that. Stop that.
Ashley and Jason were some of the first people to come to me and help me with my videos, with my podcasting, and give me tips and what to do and how to change things and how to make them pop a little bit more.
Now I'm mad at them.
Much.
Well, now I'm mad at them because I don't think they should have gave you shit. I felt like you should have learned to struggle by your motherfucking self. And, but no, it's just that. And for instance, and I'll bring up right now what's happening at this moment as I'm recording. I am talking to BC. If you can't tell by the voice, BC's a white dude. Okay? And if you really couldn't tell by my voice, I'm a black dude. If you thought I was something else, my nigga, this ain't 8 Mile. It's just what it is. BC has become one of my best friends. Not because of, just wrestling and comic books, because we just talk. I've allowed this motherfucker to call me drunk as shit.
Oh, shit.
And I've talked to him on the phone. I didn't just ignore his calls. But that's because of a commonality. We understand that at the end of the day, yeah, there's some things that are going to separate us, like our skin color, but at the same time, there's things on the inside that bring us together closer. And I need people to see that in fandoms. Always.
Exactly.
That's my message going into 2019. I'm blessed to work in this sphere. I'm blessed to be able to do more. Hopefully I'll be on some of the shows, because I'm trying to, politic my way in, and actually, I have a reel and all that shit. I have a resume that says, yeah, you can do it. But it's just, I want these fandoms to be more accepting, and also stop criticizing people who don't have the same views as you. I remember putting out, I did not like Venom. Oh, how you not gonna like Venom, blah, 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 because I have a fucking opinion. And the reason I don't like, and I brought up with Black Panther, I have reasons why I don't like it. These are my reasons. This isn't just me saying I didn't like it. If you have a reason why you don't like something, make sure you have a valid point, because if not, you literally sound like an asshole. I don't care if you're a man, woman, boy, girl, black, white, purple, green. Let's just keep it real. So that's,
couldn't say any of that better myself, my dude.
Okay, so listen, I know where we're at, pretty much running on time, because we've been doing this for a while, and I was looking at it, I was like, yo, I got a good episode in for the end of the year, man. So before I let everybody go, and we go into a new year, and people want to start off their new year on a bad note, tell people how to find you. Shit.
Hey, if you want to find me, you can get me on all social media at RealJackassBC, RealJackassBC. Jay was most recently on my podcast, It Is What It Is, where we talk the worst movies of 2018.
I was drugged, y'all. I didn't do this on my own free will. I was drugged.
Absolutely. But hey, you can find that on Cinelinks.com as well. Next week, I'm going to be doing my New Year's resolution episode. I like to put it out there so I can be held accountable for all the goals that I go and fail. So check that out, as long as everything else I do so much stuff. Find it all on social media and my new YouTube channel, youtube.com/JackassNation. That's the first time I've gotten to say that right here on the Mad Titan podcast.
You're so happy to say it. You're so happy. Congratulations for that, man. As always, for me, find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAY Washington 80. Go to patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. Join the Supervillain Squad. My review for Into the Spider-Verse is solely, no, is it not there? My review for ELSEWORLDS is there, and as well as some other stuff just popped up on the Patreon. Also, I will be what else am I about to drop on the Patreon? Some other stuff is coming, definitely. So join the squad. Everybody joins the squad. I'm going to give y'all a lot of love going into the new year. You're checking out the Mad Titan podcast. You're doing that. You're going to catch me on those places. You're going to do that. I'm painting now. If you haven't seen my paintings, because also I draw, but now I'm painting. And
yo, that Darth Vader, dude.
Thank you. I'm gonna send you a picture of what I'm. Did you see what I'm working on now?
I saw the Kylo Vader that you're working on. That's legit too.
It's a smaller one. Working on the Kylo Vader one, so just for the fuck of it. But I gotta clean up because it's New Year's Eve, and they say you're not supposed to enter the new year with a dirty room or house. So it's gonna be really a long time me cleaning. But no, seriously, thank you to everybody who's rocked with me since the inception of this year. If you didn't know, with Trusty Sidekick dissolving, it left a little hole for me. I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to go forth. I mean, I knew I had made these connections. I'd made certain things happen already, and I didn't know if I could do it without the help of the co-host there. But I had to rely on the fans, those of you all who listen to this, who stuck by me and pushed me through and allowed me to rock with this. Thank you to Nerd Jabber, Claire Lim, and everybody out there in London who have been rocking, and I'm grateful for y'all. I'm so grateful. Yeah, you all are the reason I've been able to do this podcast and going strong. You all are the reason I'm able to still be like, yo, I got to make sure I watch this for these people. People are still wanting my opinions and my thoughts and everything. And I'm going to keep doing that shit. And y'all going to keep hopefully laughing with me and rocking with it. Like I said, this is barbershop talk for nerds. Straight up. This is barbershop talk for nerds. Like, you can get a regular recap show anywhere, but I don't want to be that regular recap show. I want to be able to say, yo, this is what I thought was good. This is what I thought was bad. If you agree with me, you agree. If you don't, you don't. But I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. All right? With that being said, I will holler at you guys. I'm going to do the cliche. Next year. I feel horrible for saying that shit. I feel so fucking bad. I'm going to holler at y'all next week. Take care. I'm out of here. Peace. Be safe. Enjoy your New Year's, y'all.